And we're live. All right. So it looks like a solo cast this week. Chris is back in the US, and Matt had some kind of stuff to deal with. So hopefully everything goes okay for him, and we'll be back soon doing stuff online. But yeah, so welcome to the weekly. So yeah, I forget how to do this by myself. It's been a while. But yeah, good to see everybody in the chat. Oh, Vero's here. Hey, good to see you. Dude, it's Vero. Yeah, it's been a while. So Clarion and Arturo, good to see you guys. And Abyss, of course. Nice. Yeah, good to see everybody. Yeah, so I don't think Matt's going to be even in the chat, but hopefully he can see us later, and hopefully everything's going okay, Matt. So we'll talk soon. And I guess we got to decide what we're doing. If Arturo needs another week, if we'll do Dragonbane tomorrow, or if we're going to start kind of do our session 0 for Coriolis. So we can talk about that off stream. But yeah, we got to figure out what's coming up. Something is coming tomorrow, but not sure what yet. Yeah, so let's see. Last weekend we had the session 0 for the Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh, but that was just basically character creation for 3 of the players. Yeah, and that was about all we did. There wasn't like an opening scene or anything to get us started. But yeah, so that'll be every 2 weeks. So the 2nd and 4th, I think, Sunday in Japan. So Saturday nights. But yeah, I don't think there's not going to be any recording. I might do like a recap. That might be a fun thing to do, and that'll help me like remember the game, because every 2 weeks it's a little bit harder to remember, like, you know, where things went. So maybe like that Monday, I'll do a recap video and kind of run through everything that happened in the session, and that might be more interesting than listening to actual play, actual play. But it'll also be fun to for people that either have or haven't played that adventure. I guess it'll spoil it if you haven't, but if you have played it, it'll be fun to see how it goes, because I think the DM is going to change it a little bit, is going to kind of make it a little darker, make it a little more their own. So we will have a little bit of difference if you've played that before. But that'll be an interesting thing. I'll see if that works, and I'll see what the best way is to present that, because it's not interesting to do it as text. So maybe I'll just pop on and do a video, or I don't know how long the shorts videos are, or whatever, the reels, whatever the hell they're called. I don't know if that's a good thing to do. But and it might be a good chance I can draw character art or something. That might be a fun way to distract myself. So we'll figure that out. But yeah, good to see everybody in the chat. Nice. Oh yeah, that would be good. Okay. Yeah, let me double check with everybody, because we might have one of the Dragonbane players out next week, so it might be good to finish the site that we're in this week, and then if he's off next week, then we can start Coriolis. But yeah, let's. I'll talk to Matt and everything once we're back, and hopefully Matt's doing okay. He might have some kind of logistical stuff to deal with. Some, yeah. I'll let it's his story to tell, so I'm not going to say what's going on. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so we did Sunday was a double game day. So first we did Infinity. So had a couple of games of Infinity, and yeah, it's fun. I really, I mean, I'm running just a really old list from N3, so I don't have. I should get some hackers in there, because I got stomped. The second game, I got stomped by a very hackable unit, a very expensive hackable unit that was shutting me down. You know, kind of sniping me with a like a heavy rocket launcher. So that was not good. But yeah, I need a little bit more diversity, so I'll need to get a hacker unit somehow in that list. But Yeah, but it was fun, and yeah. So I realized the list is very glass cannon. Like if there's a couple units that if I lose, basically, yeah, the scenario is over. But so, yeah, it was fun. It's fun to see different player scenarios, and we were using the acid house terrain, which is amazing. And then I heard from the other players that that guy's going out of business. He's just shutting down his like it's kind of a one man shop, so he's shutting that down. And I think the kind of Space Hulk terrain campaign that he was running is canceled. So yeah, that was a real heartbreaker. But if you're interested in some really good, completely flat packable terrain, kind of sci-fi, I think he has a fantasy range as well. Sci-fi, and then an epic scale range, and then a cyberpunk range that can do up to a 4x6 table, which includes a mat, like cardboard tiles that link together, up to 4x6, like 4x4 and 4x6, I think are the two basic sets. It's really good terrain. It's two pieces of kind of four-sided cardboard that fold into each other, making a really strong cube, or a really strong, whatever shape it is. But it works great because Infinity is mostly metal miniatures, so they're a bit heavier. So you've got to have decent terrain, and previous cardboard terrain was a little bit less stable. But this stuff is really good. So yeah, they're going out of business, and it's like a 30% discount, I think, on all sets. But the shipping is pretty rough, and that's I think part of the reason why he's closing shop. But yeah, I'll put let me look for this website here. Yeah, let me put a link in the channel here for you guys. But yeah, really nice stuff. And hopefully he'll continue to do design work because he does amazing stuff. And it's just too hard to do it by himself because he did the terrain, at least the designs for the terrain for the Apex Legends board game. So hopefully he'll keep working, just, not doing it all by himself. But yeah, the epic scale terrain looks really good. It would be great for Epic Warpath, which is fulfilling. I think everything is August. All the notifications I got is stuff is coming in August. But yeah, take a look at that if you're interested. Yeah, but the space station I think is canceled. There's still a link to the Kickstarter, but yeah, I think it's not going to happen. Oh yeah, it hasn't even launched yet, so he's just going to not launch. But that looked really good too because it was very closed tunnels and all the crates and stuff. But yeah, it's too bad. Too bad that happened. But yeah, Infinity, the N5 is... I'm not playing fire teams or anything, so easier to keep track of a lot of rules. But yeah, that's a very fun game. And even when you're down, and even when you've lost some major units, you still have chances to do things. There's still, because there's a lot of face-to-face rolls, there's still a chance to accomplish things, or to be very survivable. Your units can be very survivable. So yeah, it's fun. Oh yeah, this yeah, kind of like a Necromunda stuff. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, definitely like some underground stuff. But yeah, it's too bad that something that like that's going away. But it's just getting harder and harder. I mean, he definitely, needed to rely on crowdfunding to get the money to get that stuff going. But it's really good stuff. Yeah, it's a shame. But it's possible that he'll just start working with somebody else, like somebody that noticed his stuff, may pick him up and do their own line of stuff. Although it's getting these like small shops, it's getting more and more rare for them to prosper. They keep dropping out. People that are doing like tokens and if you like very focused stuff. Yeah, it's just not very sustainable. You really have to follow the trends. Kind of like running a comic book store or whatever. You really have to be willing to sell Pokemon cards or whatever to pay the bills. So you have to follow. You probably have to do a lot of 5e stuff if you want to do some small, small accessories like dice towers and whatever, that kind of stuff. Although I think, so much of that stuff is on Etsy, which kind of helps a little bit with the, discovery and so people can find you a lot easier. So you probably have better sales, but I think Etsy takes a pretty big chunk. And if you don't have any sales, you're paying them, just to exist. So I think there's like a subscription. So not fun at all. But yeah, it's been good. It's really crazy humid here. So we get summer early. And it was actually funny because it was so hot that the cicada that usually emerge, and they make that, if you've ever seen an anime that takes place in the summer and you hear that sound, that chirping of the cicada, that droning, I guess, that sounds like hot Japanese summer. And so it's been hot, but Japanese summer hasn't sounded hot yet. So now they're emerging, and it's all going to be miserable. But that was funny. For a while there was just silence, because there's a lot of the frogs and the cicada make a lot of noise. The frogs from the rice fields, because they eat the mosquitoes, and then the cicada. And actually, because of the extreme heat, the mosquito population has been pretty suppressed too, which is not a bad thing. Japan has big, dumb, slow mosquitoes, but if they bite you, it literally wakes you up in the middle of the night. It's such, whatever the poison that they use, the whatever they to whatever it does, thin your blood or whatever. I forget what the mechanisms for mosquitoes are, but it hurts. It really, really hurts. So the bites like get so painful they wake you up. But the mosquitoes themselves are very slow moving and stupid, so they're pretty easy to kill. But we'll see. Yeah, we got some fun stuff to talk about. Maybe a little bit too much Wizards of the Coast, and a little more Diamond. Hence the background. A little more Diamond discussion. Some documents have been unsealed that kind of let us know what the hell happened. And we'll take a look at something that Titanforge is doing. And I'll open up the my mini factory page so you can kind of see the previous stuff that they did. And I wonder, I hope they're not going to make that stuff. I don't know. We'll talk about it then. But they made it part of a subscription, so we'll see. All right. But yeah, let's see. So did some Infinity. Finally got my Blood March and Book of Beasts. Those were delayed for some reason. So that means I have the original Coriolis core book now too, physical book. So just in time to play the sequel. So I didn't back the sequel, so I'll have to wait until that goes retail again. And with this mess with Diamond, I don't think it's going to be easy to there's going to be a much more limited places, especially internationally, to order a lot of RPG books. It's going to be frustrating for a while, but we'll see. We'll see once things get back up and running, because this is chapter 11, which is restructuring, not liquidation. So that's why I think it's taking so long, because Diamond and its, all its mechanisms will exist. Well, they're slowly falling apart, but it will exist in some form to continue distributing things just under different ownership. But they're doing it so badly, like we talked about the consignment inventory and stuff, that there may be no customers, no clients left, nobody left that wants to even deal with them, because they are being very dishonest. All right. Well, cool. Well, instead of talking to myself so much, let's get started for this week. But, very good. Oh, Arturo's saying in Puerto Rico they have rainforest tree frogs. Oh, cool. Called coqui, and they're called that because it's the sound they make. Oh, yeah. It's the sound, their mating call. Nice. Their song is a soundtrack to the countryside then. Yeah, nice. Oh, that's very cool. Yes, it's funny how regional nature, shapes so much of people's experience. Because, really that drone of the cicada, you see that in a movie, or you hear that in a movie, and you don't even have to see how bright the sun is. It's just hot and humid. It's just the sound of a miserable, humid summer. But probably very nostalgic too for people that grew up in Japan. Every time they hear that, they know. But yeah, cool. All right. All right. Nice. The Frog Song of Love. All right, so let's get started for this week, and yeah, we'll go through a few topics, and I'll be more, but since I don't have anybody to bounce off of, I'll be a little more visual. I'll show you the web page for stuff, and there'll be more to look at. Welcome to the weekly. I'm Jeremy, and it's just me this week. So both Chris and Matt are busy. So we'll just go through some topics for this week and see where that leads us. So this week on the weekly, Dragonbane miniatures headed to Kickstarter, and I believe a Frontier on my mini factory. A former WotC VP turns turns vampiric. I don't know. Turns to the dark side. Diamond details of the bankruptcy. So a little bit of information has come out about exactly what happened from unsealed documents, and the new D&D starter set for the revised 2024-2025 rules set, which looks like it's made for like mentally compromised. They're going a starter set. There's got to be a better word for it. It's like onboarding, mentally deficient. Sorry. Anyhow, let's start with Free League. And so we're getting the miniatures. So these have existed in a partnership with Titanforge. Free League is going to be producing Dragonbane miniatures. The campaign that they're going to have on Kickstarter is called Northern Beasts, which I think is going to basically take their Bestiary and make a miniature of all of the entries there as that original set. So Titanforge has experience doing miniatures specifically of this artwork for Dragonbane. They had their very first kind of subscription service called The Adventure, which would give you a exclusive unlocked miniature, and then plus like loyalty rewards like every, I think, 3 and 6 months. But they were all the major NPCs or monsters from the the Secret of the Dragon Emperor, the Misty Veil campaign from the starter set. So it was a set of 12 plus the welcome pack. The thing you unlocked just by subscribing for that first month, which I believe was free as their promotion, was the miniatures of the pre-gen characters. So the Wolfkin and the Wizard, the Elf, the Mallardkin, and I believe that's at the 4. Oh, no, the Halfling as well. So those were already produced, and they did a really nice job of those, although, they weren't printed. They were just the STL files. But they are Titanforge is definitely experienced in doing that. So this set is going to hit, and they're already asking on their Facebook page what other characters you would like to see. So maybe based on the illustrations from Dragonbane, there may be some other things that will be available, and they are unlocking. And this showed up in my library on my mini factory, and I'll show you that in a minute. But I think once they reach a certain threshold, everyone is going to get unlocked the free Mallardkin Assassin from the cover of the. I don't have it right in front of me, do I? The cover of the. Oh no, I do. This guy. So the cover of the rules, they did a miniature of him, and he's got it looks like a gas lamp or some kind of street lamp support. So he is actually airborne. He's actually pouncing, or maybe it's actually this architecture. I'm not sure what it's what that's supposed to be, but he is available is a free STL right now because of the Titanforge library that I had. But I think to all backers, they're going to get a physical miniature of that. And so, yeah, they're asking for others. So probably as stretch goals, they're probably trying to, because I thought this was already launching. I thought this campaign would be launching before we recorded this, but it's still maybe a few days away. But they're great looking miniatures. Already, Dragonbane went in pretty heavy with the kind of pawns, similar to Paizo, kind of standees. So the core set comes with standees and little plastic bases, because they do have a square, a grid battle map. to use, but these miniatures even look much nicer. You can take a look if you just search Dragonbane on Facebook. There's a few groups where people have posted the painted prints of their Dragonbane miniatures, and they look great. They're really great sculpts. So probably throughout this campaign, they're going to continue to release more stuff. But I think for this Northern Beast collection, it's going to be the monsters from the probably some from the basic core set, and then the Bestiary that they already included. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But just to give you some idea here, let me see if I can pull this off. I probably will kill the chat trying to do this, but let's find out. Where is my monitor desktop? There we go. I kind of did it. And where is chat? There we go. Chat is over me. We'll put chat here. Sorry. It's so visual. It's terrible. Let me move the screen over as well. So this is the... there we go. I'll block instead of the chat. This is the everything in my library from this adventure. So it's called The Adventure. It's a monthly subscription. I think it was $10. The first month was free. So the first thing they gave you on month 1 were the 5 heroes. 5 heroes from the pre-gens from the core set. And yeah, so you can buy it. It's $99 for these 5. And this was as part of their subscription. They included a bunch of additional STLs, which are just kind of a selection, mostly fantasy stuff, a selection of other producers on My Mini Factory of different miniatures that, there also included maybe some 5e adventures that included those miniatures. And then there was also some sort of discount discount code for merchants. So in this case, that first month, it was the Kolinsky brushes and accessories. So they gave you a discount code. So they did this every month. Yeah, there's our miniatures. They look nice. They're a little bit... This image, maybe they don't wanted to show the detail, but they should. The halfling looks like a giantess, but yeah, it's these characters sculpted. So yes, you can see it. Pretty decent adaptation of the artwork. So these have been available digitally from. Okay, I can't go back, can I? From My Mini Factory, there might be a keyboard to do that. And so here is the types of things that were included every month. So you see some 5Es, Doggos and Dragons, and a lot of things. And I think they're just showcasing, maybe get you interested in, either cast and play or hit point press, some of the other popular creators on My Mini Factory. But then, and it's quite a bit. Like every month you got quite a bit. And then the next month they gave you the quick start, and then the white. So you get a PDF of the quick start guide, and then the white from the first one of the big monsters. Oh, and also 50% off of resin, if you can believe it. So yeah, as you can see, the pretty nice version of the oh, come on. Yeah, of course that's not gonna work. A pretty nice version of the there we go, of the characters, and then all of the included stuff from others. Yeah, Claymore miniatures and everything. Oh yeah, and they give you the white oh no, spoilers, the White Death. Nice. Little 3-piece sea serpent. So yeah, all of the major, and then here we go, month 4 already. We've got these guys, the Twisted Cultists. Nice. So this is definitely spoilers for everything we're going to run into in the Misty Vale. But I just wanted to show you guys what they've already done. So I'm not sure, maybe some of these miniatures are going to be, they're going to tool the molds to actually do these. Oh, yeah, here's somebody we may run into too. Glam. And again, more free resin. Or not free, but discount resin. Glam. Yeah, so a lot of different support. And there's even, VTT tokens and things for for different adventures. Oh, that's a Torg Eternity. There's a lot of crazy stuff. I guess they wanted it to pack it as full as possible. So already by we're dealing with the She Spider by month 6, Sekshal, who looks just like the illustration. Nice. And so of course their loyalty gift. Oh, and a little troll alchemist, the basilisk, spoilers, dragon knights. Oh, this is the miniature, maybe the dragon knight we're currently talking to in the tavern. Nice. And so 10 got the demon Ix, spoilers. And let's see, old stare. Yeah, these are all horrible spoilers. Oh, okay, so each month, maybe everything in each month is unlockable for $99. That's actually not too bad because it's a ton of STLs. Sounds like a huge price. Yeah, so old stare will be running into. And then the last month was, of course, you had to hang in there for Azrahil Koth. So look at that big final boss. Yeah, so they did a nice job. So I'm not sure if these are going to be included. They might be because they've already been produced, and it's only 12 or so miniatures. So these may make an appearance in this campaign, which is unfortunate because I've already got all the STLs. It's going to be hard to want to pay for them to be physically produced and shipped, with these already existing. So this is what they did in their cooperation with Titan Forge. And like I was saying, they what showed up in my adventure was this guy. Oh yeah, so the Maludkin. Oh no, I guess it is it's just that arc. It's not a light pole or anything. It's like that architecture he's coming down from. So yeah, that's a really nice representation of that illustration of the Maludkin. So this is, I think, going to be one of the bonus miniatures. So yeah, it looks like good stuff. I really like the quality and the likenesses. So if you are playing Dragonbane, especially on the table, and you want to have represented not just the 2-dimensional standees, but actually 3D miniatures, and of course you enjoy painting, check that out. So I'll put that in the description. And I'm glad to see it's still Titan Forge. They've been getting a lot of work. They did the Eve online board game. They did miniatures for another big board game recently. So they've been doing well with not just doing digital assets, but physical miniatures in real games that go into production. So yeah, check out that Kickstarter. Once it starts, you'll have to click the notify because it's not live yet. I thought it would be live by this week. Oh, and I've totally killed my notes. I'm so bad at this. All right, let's go back to this before I confuse myself anymore. All right, so the next thing. So that's something fun and nice to look forward to. But the next thing is a kind of a funny D&D situation. So we heard, of course, Chris Perkins and Jeremy Crawford left. There were some layoffs, which include Mike Merrills and Liz Shue. But there is a defection. I think we did mention this, but we had no clue where she was going. So Kyle Brink's replacement as... I guess what they named her. He was executive producer, I think. I guess she had executive. Yeah, she was executive producer of D&D as well. Jess Lanzillo, who was vice president of the franchise and products for D&D, is leaving, and she announced that, I think, on her LinkedIn. She had been at WotC for 8 years. Started off with Magic: The Gathering, and yeah, she took over when Kyle left. But so where would a spunky young lady like to continue her tabletop RPG career? Well, how about as the creative director of World of Darkness? So that was the last the last place I expected her. So she's heading up the so she'll be the creative director for things like Vampire the Masquerade and all things World of Darkness. So yeah, as we heard, Paradox is bringing back the White Wolf brand for this property after some problems with the original group. And so Lanzillo wrote, World of Darkness has been my creative North Star since the 90s. Okay. And I have firsthand how these games create communities, inspire storytelling, and make real dark, weird. Oh, no, she doesn't say that. My focus is on supporting and amplifying what makes these worlds special: the rich lore, the player agency, the mature themes, while ensuring they reach everyone who would love them. So, she's very excited. Everyone's living their dream, I guess. So, it's her dream to be the creative director of World of Darkness. She didn't look like a very dark individual, but you never know. Right below the surface. So yeah, I guess they're expanding to, they're planning to expand World of Darkness products with more of this underworld mythology, as she mentioned. Yeah, so Werewolf the Forsaken, Mage the Awakening. We'll see what else they come up with. But a quote from Marco Berman, who was the vice president of White Wolf, who's happy about snagging Lanzillo, because this is all part of the publisher's bold move of expansion. Yeah, we'll see. He says, Jess is a key pillar of our expanding studio, helping drive a strong and clear creative vision from the heart of our team. Her arrival underscores Paradox's long-term commitment to White Wolf and our goal to make... Oh, sorry, my microphone is so low. To make World of Darkness the #1 horror entertainment brand in the world. All right, well, good luck with that. So I guess it's her dream, and now it's Marco's dream as well. She didn't exactly set the world on fire at WotC, so I'm not sure what they're expecting from her. I mean, maybe she's just really good at, organizing meetings or something. I don't know. I have so much, so much suspicion from these people that just bounce companies and stay at this managerial, mid-level managerial position. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yes, so World of Darkness is in good hands, and it's on the rise, and it's now called White Wolf again, and we'll see. But so this is just another, more of this mysterious bad news of WotC, just disassembling everybody that was involved with, however minor or however short term 5e, and it's a lot of people that had recently had positions, because this has been like a 10-year success. So all of these people weren't here for all of that, but yeah, we'll see what that means, if that makes any difference. I'm interested to see how they're going to mainstream. If you think some of the stuff, especially in old D&D, is problematic, I think World of Darkness has all kinds of problems that you're not going to be able to sell to kids very well. And it already went off into that weird eating the queer-coded individuals for power, or whatever the weird writing that White Wolf got canceled, literally canceled for. All right, so to go with our nice animated background here, let's continue a little bit more about what happened to Diamond. We have some new information. And it's all, and so this did drag in the tabletop. We did talk about Paizo and Green Ronin and everybody being drugged into this when you thought it was just a comic book problem. So it literally, so an article was just published that talks about, it came down to a single hour. So within 1 hour, that the Alliance bid to buy out, Alliance Entertainment was the winning bidder in the auction, the bankruptcy auction for Diamond, and they were rejected. So, the auction for the Chapter 11 bankruptcy of Diamond Comics Distributors. So Alliance Entertainment, or AENT, were ready to pay over $70 million, but Diamond decided to go with the second place, the Ad Populum Sparkle Pop Universal Distributors bid. And they finally released a sealed transcript that gives us some ideas for why Diamond rejected this and kind of played this game, kind of this underhanded game, to get what they wanted. So a quote from this transcript. So there remained a significant disagreement related to whether or not Alliance Entertainment's bid included payment to the debtors for prepaid inventory. So I guess this was a point of contention. These transcripts were released, and they had like an after auction kind of negotiation where both of the two leading parties raised their bids. So they were saying that all of this prepaid inventory was estimated at approximately $4.3 million. And Alliance said their bid did not include that amount. So another quote from the transcript. So frankly, we could take today and maybe even all of tomorrow with witnesses and exhibits debating who was right and who was wrong. But by the end of the day, Your Honor, these are the transcripts that we did in here. I submit that the debate really is not relevant to today's hearing or the ultimate hearing on the sale. I should say, because regardless of whose understanding was correct, the bottom line is that as of yesterday at 4:00, the parties were not in agreement, and absent inclusion of this prepaid inventory, the Alliance bid was less than the backup bid submitted by Universal ad populum by approximately $2.5 million. This kind of private a bidding thing happened afterwards. So consulting with the committee. What it looks like what happened is Diamond talked to the bank that's basically going to be running this thing. So JP Morgan Chase, and they were informed. They testified that they backed this plan of supporting the second place bidders because they agreed to this, asset purchase as part of their bid, and that was something that was like the most important for the people handling the discharge of this. But this didn't particularly go well. It really pissed off basically everybody involved. So Chapter 11 was on January 14th of this year. It was supposed to be a 13-week process. And this article, I think it's Bleeding Cool, goes down and just like gives you a blow by blow of like everything, all of the fallout and everything that happened from this decision. So Alliance, the top bidder, sues over this, and those were the transcripts that were released. Universal Distribution and Ad Populum were getting. I think the only thing that was left to Alliance was left with Diamond UK. The debtors basically all agreed with Chase, JP Morgan Chase, that they approved the backup bid because that got them maybe more money faster. Alliance filed the lawsuit. Their winning bid was terminated. Alliance's bid was terminated, and Diamond, because this was Chapter 11, Diamond will still exist. They said it's business as usual. Everybody, don't worry. Keep ordering. Do whatever. That was actually very much not the case. And because they did this, the courts threatened Chapter 7 Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which means complete liquidation. So there would be no more Diamond. They would just break it up into pieces and sell it off. So the second place bid was approved by the courts, and then the layoffs began at Diamond. And then Universal started sniping the Diamond employees. Hermes Press, Dynamite, Udon, and Manga Classics, as well as Dem Productions, all canceled their Diamond orders. 7 senior staffers are hired. So Diamond is going to be as corrupt and poorly run as it was before, because they're just bringing back all of the senior management that dropped the ball previously. And Alliance was a little upset at seeing that happening, and they think that was brought up in court. Diamond ends cash on delivery sales, but tells everybody, don't worry, the next previews, which is a magazine of all of the books available to order, next previews is coming. It's coming. Don't worry, it's coming. Everything's fine. And finally, all of this disintegrates. And right before this is where Paizo and Green Ronin and everybody get involved as everyone's pulling out. We hear from them that they're affected too, because they're also clients. But Diamond takes their previews ordering catalog digital only. So it just completely fell apart. Yeah, and then we talked about last week the held hostage of this consignment comics and books that not only comics, but were RPG books as well. Different publishers are calling Diamond thieves and bandits. And the big question is, what is Diamond going to look like at San Diego? I think it's in August. What are they going to look like at San Diego Comic-Con in August? Because they always have a big presence and give out stuff. So what condition are they going to be in? And I guess they did have to finally cancel their comics suite, which I think was like a digital platform for comic shops to do their ordering. So that's gone too. So now a lot of the smaller press, Dynamite, Fantagraphics, Drawn, and Quarterly are all teaming up legally. And we heard Green Ronin, Paizo, and everybody. So Green Ronin has a GoFundMe for their legal fees. They are all getting ready to sue for this consignment inventory that's being decided upon whether or not that's part of the bankruptcy, and if Diamond can liquidate that to pay their debtors. So yes, the fix is finally in. Was another article that went over kind of blow by blow what was revealed in these transcripts, and so one of the lines was, "You may or may not be surprised to learn that we disagree." That the process worked. It is an important timeline concerning the auction process that has been disclosed and revealed to the court at this date. So yeah, there's so many people that participated in that auction that complained that it was completely not fair, that they had no chance at all of competing with these two highest bidders, so that it was kind of fixed. And then Alliance found out it was fixed by Chase, because they chose. They chose a second place bid because of how the money worked. So the debtors refused to engage with Alliance, and that's why the second place bid won. And so the hostage inventory is still a concern. There's 12 comics publishers. So Diamond Entertainment, Magnetic Press, Massive Publishing, Oni Press, Graphic Mundi, Black Mask Studios, Aspen Comics, Heavy Metal, Alien Books, Titan Comics, Vault Comics, and Distillery, as well as a UK, Panini in the UK, are all being affected by this. This is the group that are joining joining forces to see what they can actually get back from this. And on a lot of them are owed a significant amount of money, like $500,000 to $1 million. So we'll see how this continues. There's still no word on whether the courts are going to approve this liquidation, at least as of this recording. I didn't see anybody reporting on that. But yeah, it's and the full kind of breakdown of these transcripts and everything are available. I think both on Bleeding Cool and World, I think, was talking about it as well. So this continues, and it does affect, Goodman Games as well. So we're not going to see Goodman Games, Paizo, or Green Ronin on the big online retailers for a while until this gets worked out. So that's too bad. I was wondering why. And I also heard that kind of coinciding with this, Goodman Games lost their license to do their adventures, the reincarnated adventures that they were doing. So they were doing the early modules, the early D&D modules, basic and expert modules. They were doing 5e ports of them, but also doing a really nice history. So reprinting the original adventure on a really large format, doing a lot of history, a lot of essays by famous creators and people that were involved at the time, reprinting the original, and then doing a 5e conversion in those books as well. And those have just disappeared, I think, because they're no longer, distributed. So people are struggling to get their hands on those. So they did 6 of them all the way up to like Temple of Elemental Evil, I think was the last one, which is a big box set. But yeah, those no longer will be produced by Goodman Games, and they're not even accessible. So people are probably hoarding them wherever they can get them. But those are really nice kind of love letter type projects. I mean, I don't know how useful the 5e conversions were, but to have all of that original content plus all that history and writing was a really cool set. All right. So, speaking of Dungeons and Dragons, do you want to learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons? Do you have cognitive disabilities? Are you, what's the modern phrase? Are you neurodivergent? Do you have trouble seeing symbols and numbers and letters? Well, WotC's got you covered. The new D&D starter set has been announced. So this will be the 24-25, the revised rule set for 5e. It's coming out in September. The adventure they're doing, we were talking about these, classic adventures, is basically Keep on the Borderlands. So they're calling it Heroes of the Borderlands. And so we're getting it in September. So the Heroes of the Borderlands starter set looks like a monster, but it's because it's got so much supplemental materials. And actually, when they first previewed this, I'm not sure if it was at the UK Game Expo or something, they had like a prototype of it where they were showing some of the components. It looked a lot like Daggerheart. It really had that feeling of super card based gameplay. It's not going to be supported. I mean, there's just going to be this one adventure you can play in this style, but it did remind me. It looked like Daggerheart and this starter set were thinking the same way. So this set will include adventure booklets, maps, cards, tokens, dice, and quick start guides. It will give you 40 to 60 hours of gameplay with iconic classes. So I think just the 4 starter classes. So Magic User, Fighter, Rogue, and Cleric. And as well as monsters, classic D&D experiences. So I guess they are. I don't know, and I haven't seen it. I'm not sure how far they're going to go. But if they're going to do the Keep and then they're going to do the Caves of Chaos, or I don't know how they're actually going to handle this, and if they're going to water it down. So it's already going to be confusing because any newer players are not really going to know about that classic adventure, and this will be their first experience of it. So this big old box, which is a lot more than they were including before, mostly especially the very previous starter set was more booklet and code for digital access. There was almost nothing in the box, but this is going to have a considerable number of maps and booklets and things. This is going to go for $50 physical. If you want to do a physical and digital, you can do it for $55. But I guess if you do digital only, it will also be $50. Ugh. So September 16th this year is when you can get your hands on that. So yeah, Heroes of the Borderlands. So what they're trying to do is make this easy to set up, play easier by giving you physical maps, class boards. Yeah, that was the thing. They literally give you, of the 4, that's why they probably stripped down the classes, give you the 4 classes, and you've got a board with all of the information. And from what I saw, it doesn't even use the... it doesn't even say D4, D6, D20. It literally has a graphic, and pick up the thing on the table that looks like this, and they'll have a little, illustration of a D4 or a D6. And so, yeah, they're really dumbing it down. So if you need your preschooler to play Dungeons and Dragons, this would be the set to get them to play. Yeah, so they're... the guides are to help walk newcomers through it, to give them a chance to create memorable characters. So that's good. There is character creation in this. They didn't dumb it down to the extent that they're just giving you pre-gens, and I guess I don't know if they're NPCs or whatever they were, but they look pretty gruesome, pretty terrible. All smiling and lightness and good. As their characters are in these newer books. Everyone is smiling and sweet and happy. But they'll give you the monsters, and they're breaking down the adventure book. It breaks it down to 1-hour sessions, which is a little odd too. That's almost like, internet friendly, the a 1-hour session. So no prior experience required, and 1-hour sessions in this kind of walkthrough starter guide. So they'll give you 40 to 60 hours of gameplay, they're saying. So a quick start will kind of walk you through everything. A play guide, so maybe a rules summary. 3 adventure booklets for the Dungeon Master. The 4 iconic character classes. 200 game cards that on the cards are going to be the backgrounds, the species, the spells, equipment, and everything. So you're just going to kind of slot those in on your dashboard. So very, very odd, kind of slimmed down. I mean, it's almost like, we don't think you can handle filling out a character sheet. So here, just lay all these cards down, and hopefully there's a just an explanation of, okay, now once you've made your character, let's transfer this to a character sheet. So, we don't have to do this all the time for the 40 to 60 hours. They're going to include 18 maps. Oh, yeah, the Caves of Chaos Valley and the Keep on the Borderlands and the Wilderness. Yeah, so they are going to give you maps of all of those iconic locations. I can't imagine 18 maps. That's quite a bit. So we'll see. And then 200 tokens. It looked very token heavy. So that was another thing that reminded me of Daggerheart is like, just do tokens for everything, tokens for this and tokens for that, put tokens on a card. And if you want to do initiative, just do everyone gets a token every round. And they, just we're doing tokens for everything. So that's what they're going to do. These will represent resources, monsters, and terrain, and also every other little tiny thing. There's a huge variety of them. And then a combat tracker will teach new dungeon masters how to track initiative effectively. And at least they're going to give you the 11 dice, not the 6, but the 11 dice set. So you'll get like the 3 or 4 D6s, and you'll get the whole range. And maybe the percentile, the D100s as well, which is good, because I hate when they gave you 7 dice and you had to roll them multiple times. At least it's everything. So that's it. That's what they're doing. I hope this is not successful and goes on clearance very quickly, because I really want to see this thing. Just as a morbid curiosity, I would never pay anywhere near that $50. But they always have these weird ideas, and I really liked. I ran, and I guess it's kind of famously good now, but I ran for the first thing I ever ran for my daughter and her boyfriend was the starter adventure, that Sword Coast starter adventure for the Phandelver, the Mines of Phandelver. That was great. That was really fun, and it was a good starting adventure. And I don't think they're gonna, I don't know what they're gonna do. I'm really worried about what they're gonna do to Keep on the Borderlands with this, but we'll see. So we'll have a dumbed down Caves of Chaos, a Caves of Minor Chaos. Yep, so that's $50, $55 if you want, plus the digital version, September 16th. So they continue to, and so this is I think the other sets were around $20. So this is a really big price point, and I don't know if they're going to really, it's almost like a totally different game. So if you would buy this and then buy the 3 core books, you would not quite, it's getting from the starter set to the books only is going to be kind of weird. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just visual enough. I mean, if you were going to do a D&D class in elementary or club in elementary school, this would probably be great for that. But other than that, I can't imagine anybody above a single digit age would need to have so much hand holding unless the revised rules are really that bad. So that will do it for this week. So, I've got a live stream coming up. If you want to see more of me on this channel, it will pop up. I'll draw my single panel gag cartoon, Domestic Abuse. So that's Abuse Cartoons. If you want to go to those channels on YouTube and Twitch, and you can read the cartoon on GoComics. So gocomics.com/domestic abuse. And I draw the cartoon. There's 2 for every week, and I'm drawing a month's worth. So I draw about 6 to 8 cartoons, and eat some Japanese snacks, whatever is seasonally available, and just kind of hang. So it's a longer stream and just kind of a fun hang. So tune into that, and take a look at both Chris's and Matt's creations, their creative work, and their social media in the description below this video. And so you can find them there. But if you like what we're doing at the weekly, just all by myself, you can still like it. You can support us on Patreon, becoming a weekling. So a weekling is one of the tiers at patreon.com/upturnedtable. And you can tell us what you want to see more of. You want less diamond bankruptcy talk, more visuals in the weekly, and kind of going through, things that are concrete on websites is a little bit more fun than just talking about them. Just let us know. There's other tiers to support, actual plays and lore videos and other things that we do on the channel. And just support us and let us know. You can also do that by becoming a member on YouTube. So the join button on the YouTube page will let you do that. And all of our tiers start at $1, so you can get involved, get on our Discord and everything for practically nothing, just to let us know that you're serious. You're serious. Put that cash on the barrelhead and let us know that's what you're all about. So we will be doing some actual play tomorrow. I'm not sure if it's going to be Dragonbane or our Coriolis session 0, but we'll let you know when we start the stream. So about this time tomorrow, we'll be doing the same thing, and that will be run by Arturo. So that should be fun. If it's Coriolis, if it's Dragonbane, it'll be me. So it'll just depend on kind of who's available and what's going on. If Matt's going to be out for tomorrow, we'll have to we'll figure it out. But so thanks everybody for joining, and I'll come back in a little bit and just read through the chat. But thank you for watching and listening, and we'll be back again next week. Goodbye. Oh, yeah, that's right. No matter what we play tomorrow, it has to be called Daggerheart. Like, you have to work that in. And, of course, Arturo, you have to figure out a way to work Jub Jub into every single scenario, every single setting. Jub Jub is the stone that connects all worlds. Nice. No, Arturo's commenting on his phone. Yeah, I am really frustrated with the keyboards on phones. My thumbs don't fit well. Oh, cool. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll kind of hopefully get things figured out ahead of time, what we'll do tomorrow. Once everyone's up and running. That's cool. Oh, yeah, and Clarion was asking, yes, PDF is $50 as well. I would hope, this is for the D&D starter set, I would hope that would mean it's everything in D&D Beyond. You know, it's everything they're including as part of some sort of, VTT package or something. Because, yeah, $50 is pretty steep for just that PDF of some booklets and a lot of stuff that you can't use unless you print it out yourself. So hopefully it's they're figuring out. I mean, they don't have a VTT. That's so stupid that this could have been, like, this starter set could have been created with 3D miniatures in a VTT, but they don't have that. I guess it's not dead, but it's not being developed for. So Sigil is still exists, but this would have been a perfect chance to, show off what you could do. But yeah, it just says digital or physical, $50, both for $55. So I don't know what that means. But if it's anything like Daggerheart, it may be that they're giving it to you with content for Roll20 or D&D Beyond, so that you can do all the character creation and everything. But if they're doing all this cards on a dashboard thing, it's not going to work in D&D Beyond. So I'm not sure exactly what that is. But yeah, a $50 PDF of starter booklets is pretty silly. Yeah, Arturo saying, Temple of Elemental Evil is legendary. Yeah. That's right. They did a computer RPG version. Yeah, that 2-volume book set is really great, because the one volume that's all just the 5e conversion, so you can just ignore that. But then there's the one that's the reprints of Village of Hamlet, plus all the historical stuff. It's everybody, like people involved, Harley Stroh or people that are kind of big names at Goodman Games writing about the influence of that adventure, and then people writing about first running it and everything. There's like really great essays from so many people, like original Gygax, game group members, and a lot of, or TSR, early TSR people. In the book, there's a lot of great writing, and they were, each one of those books is really like a love letter to each of those adventures, and puts it in context, and there's some even color photos in there, kind of the time, so you see, people playing in their wood-paneled basements, on their ping pong tables, and it really gives you a good sense of context for those adventures. But yeah, the 5e conversions, they're not that useful. And I think for the later books, for like the Caverns of Thracia and Dark Tower and some of the other stuff that Goodman Games was doing as part of that same kind of line, they broke it up. They did a DCC conversion or a 5e conversion, especially when they went to crowdfunding. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess DCC would be fun to play some of those adventures in, but it's mostly that historical stuff and the reproduction, the really nice physical reproduction, large format reproduction of those modules. That was so cool. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. So Arturo's saying, as long as White Wolf has 50% less Nazis, I'm sure they'll be fine. Yeah, what does this say about Jess, that she's so excited to work? She's such a an edgelordess that she wants to get in there with a World of Darkness and really do her thing. Yes, glam. Glam cousin to Jub. Oh yeah, I could work in. It is very possible to work in Jub to this Dragonbane campaign we're doing. So look out. We'll have to Abyss will guest star to play the role, and guest starring as in the role of Jub. Arturo saying that Mallard Rogue is just a Temu Darkwing Duck. Yeah, just give me that Darkwing Duck. Nice. Yeah, that's funny. I think they really like that artwork. They use it a lot on promotional materials and stuff. Oh, yeah, but good to see everybody in the chat. I hope... I hope we can do stuff as normal tomorrow. So Arturo's asking, so will you finally admit we are D&D 5e shills? Yes, because we don't appreciate Daggerheart enough. Yeah, obviously, our hatred for Daggerheart proves that we're just these 5e bros that don't do anything else, but and we are such 5e bros, we don't even like Critical Role. We think they're not cool. We're like original 5e bros. Back when Critical Role was Pathfinder, we were like all in on 5e, because we should just stick with 5e, guys. I don't know what we're thinking. playing all these games. Yeah, it's so funny. And that's the problem. I think we were even talking about that last week is, just messing around with Daggerheart already got the attention of people who we probably don't want their attention because they're going to be very unhappy with, the kind of range and variety of stuff that we play. They are probably very loyal to specific things. Yeah. Nice. Jub was not impressed by quacking. Nice. Yeah, we are definitely shills. 5e shills. I mean, that's why I talk about WotC so much, because I just, I'm always rooting for those guys, It's really strange now, though, that losing all of their, recognizable names, and just it does feel very similar to what Games Workshop did, is just kind of purging. Or I guess they didn't purge. Those people left before they could get purged, but they left with their name and started YouTube channels and stuff to continue to make money off of this brand that they built for themselves while working, doing Warhammer stuff for Games Workshop. So now it seems like WotC's kind of got that same thing. They've got a bunch of faceless people that we'll probably see pop up in videos, if they are going to do some promotional videos about releases. They'll have some random people pop up in hoodies and ampersand t-shirts with just their name, maybe just a first name and a job title. And then that'll be it. There'll be nobody that, like, we know their history. They came from this. We know their taste in games. We know, what they're trying to make 5e into. It'll just be this committee, this design committee, not even headed by Jess Lanzillo. So yeah, it's strange what they're trying to do. I really think, especially when they were talking about this franchise model that they want, they don't even have to make a game anymore. I mean, really, this 2024, 2025 revision, that can be it. That can be D&D for the next, 30 years. That's fine, because then the brand still exists. As long as they keep printing the books and, maybe some supporting materials, that's it. That, gives them the ability to license D&D, even if it's not an actual, living game system anymore. I don't know. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Wouldn't that be amazing? Yeah, and there is like funny generations of people now that have come in, by different means to tabletop and have a totally different, perspective on things, and maybe don't appreciate, people that don't appreciate the kind of bitching and complaining, like this, bagging on WotC for just being greedy and stupid and ruining, a real classic game system. They just don't get that. Like, why are you so pissed off? It's just, it's fun, and everybody's welcome to the table, and the dwarves are baking scones, and the orcs are farming maize. Okay, whatever. Yeah, it's very, yeah. It's very odd, where people onboarded and like kind of what perspective that gives them. Yeah, because it's going to come to a point where most of the people that are actively playing don't care about, and maybe we saw the beginning of that when Goodman Games deleted the list of creators, a list of designers from their weird little pledge, their old school pledge thing. So in the DCC rulebook, they had that page, and they deleted a bunch of names, and maybe they're already saying, yeah, this isn't, this doesn't mean anything. The new players that are going to find our system don't need to care about this anymore, even though those are the people responsible for the game, for why you built the game the way you did. Yeah, it'll be like memes and everything else. It'll just be stuff completely out of context, just taken completely, in this weird new use of it. So we'll see what this actually does. Oh yeah. I really should do a Coriolis lore would be good. I'm sure that's been done, but that would be a really fun thing to at least do a setup for. Yeah, I think so, Tro. That's a good idea. Yeah, Coriolis, I can't wait to play that. That sounds really fun. And I'm really interested. I want to take a quick look at like what it was, and then that'll give me some sense of what it's become, like what they were trying to do with it by kind of like things dying and moving away. So that'll be yeah, very cool. Yeah, and with that artwork too, it's easy to do like really gorgeous videos with all that cool Martin Grip art for from Coriolis, and there's a ton of it now too because they've done they've done a lot of a lot of there's a lot of campaigns and a lot of adventures out there with a lot of cool art. So yeah, that would be good. Yeah, I'll work on that. If we don't play Coriolis this week, I'll get to, and even if we do, I'll get that. I'll get that in the queue, and so that'll give people something to refer to and get excited about for the new stuff. Yeah, I'll try to get my hands on the. So is only the quick start maybe for the new update? Maybe only the quick start is available, but I will take a look. And I think in there was enough to do a lore video. I think they in the beginning of that quick start they give you quite a bit. Yeah, very cool. The Great Dark, yeah. Yeah, that would be very cool. I got lots of good music and stuff that should work. Oops. All right. Well, cool. Yeah, so we'll talk behind the scenes on the Discord. You could actually watch the conversation. So become a patron today or a member, and then message me, and I'll get you in the Discord. I think there's still. I think they expire like in 7 days. So I'll keep posting a Discord link in the members section, like the members shared area for posts. You know, the community posts. If anybody just joins and wants to get in there. But yeah, so let's wrap it up this week, and we'll figure out what we're up to. Nice. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Arturo was saying the history of Free League as a company is tied to Coriolis. Yeah, we should talk about it. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, and they even used, I remember like yeah, that icon that they use, that kind of lotus-looking icon they use, is I think a symbol from Coriolis. That would be really cool. We should do some discussion thing as well, like a Free League history discussion. Yeah, because they really took off. I mean, that was really cool. I remember early days of Free League, I was getting confused because Modifius was distributing them. I was getting confused with what was Free Leagues and what was Modifius because they. Like they do with some other smaller press, but now Free League is like their own thing, and they don't need to be associated with Modifius anymore. Cool. Nice. All right. Yeah. So everybody, take care, and yeah, sorry for such a solo this week. It's been a while, but we'll be back again tomorrow with some actual play or something. We'll be doing something depending on who's available and how things are going. And yeah, so we will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting us, patrons and members. You guys are wonderful, and we'll be back again very soon. So take care and goodbye.